Could somebody please explain to me why the only safe way to be an enemy of America is to make sure that you get to America before you start doing it? You can even be raised here. Doesn't matter. As long as you are already here, you can be in Congress, you can be running universities, you can be the mayor of a major city, you can be, oh, let's just say the Attorney General of Minnesota. It doesn't matter. As long as you're already here, it's safe to be an enemy. I guess if we've learned anything from this mess with Iran, that's it. But I don't understand how it is that Iran was in so much trouble because for a long time it was their proxies that were attacking everybody. You know, with Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis, the people who fund and train terrorists, radicalize people from their youth, and send them over here in America to become American citizens. God only knows how many sleeper cells we still got here that were radicalized and placed here by Iran. You know, that's another thing, too. During the Obama years, for a while, the term, every time somebody did something, they didn't want to blame Islam. They didn't want to blame the Islamic State. They didn't want to blame any of the Islamic countries that supported these terrorists here in America. The big question was, where did they get radicalized? Because they wanted to find a way to blame America for it. They wanted to make it look like our policies here just got to their minds and psyched them out so bad. They just had to become terrorists because there wasn't any choice left to them. Well, why is it that Iran was an enemy? Because they funded these terrorists, because they encouraged them, they helped radicalize them, they fueled their radical emotions, and they encouraged them to attack. And here, if you could do the same exact thing in America, you're totally safe because all of these people, again, it brings the focus back to Minnesota, but we've all seen all the Somali fraud that went on up there. Okay, those people, they're funding terrorism by sending that money to Islamists over in Africa. And there's people over there still getting butchered. Of course, it doesn't matter because on a world stage, those wars over there don't get a lot of popularity because at least they stay contained. It's a neighborhood thing. They don't mess up global trade, global economies. It's just the same people killing each other that have been doing it for centuries and centuries. The reason it matters more in the Mideast is because there are important trade routes that the whole world depends on. They can interfere with the fuel supply that the whole world runs on. And yeah, whether you like it or not, that matters. That matters a whole lot. But we've got people like all those programs that Musk uncovered with Doge, that goes over to the Islamists in the Middle East. A lot of that theft did. A lot of the other theft and graft and corruption that we've seen where they were stealing money out of our system. Look at everything that was stolen from us through the UN programs, the US aid programs. Almost all of that was related to the Middle East. A lot of it stayed there, and we don't even know how much of that money from all of that different fraud and theft actually stayed here in America. But we know a lot of it was sent to the Middle East to fund terrorists. You can bet a lot of the terrorist organizations and training institutions here in America are funded by it too. So why aren't the people here in America that were behind all that, why are they just considered, oh yeah, they were fraudsters? No, they were enemies of the country. They were funding our enemies. They were funding terrorists, just like Iran was. These people who robbed us from within our own government are state sponsors of terrorism. Why is it okay to kill people overseas, to blow up the buildings while they're having meetings because they're state sponsors of terrorists? And we've got people in Congress right here that taxpayers are paying $174,000 a year. $3,346 a week, plus a great benefits package, while you are a state sponsor of terror here in America. Why is it that the only enemies we have that are safe are the ones that already got here and got themselves entrenched in our system first? We've still got an awful lot of people in this country who are dangerous to this country. We all know that all the rhetoric and all of the things that they've been supporting over all these years, that contributes to the dangers that we face today. All of those people are doing it. Now, I know a lot of the politicians that are opposing the Iran thing, a lot of that's laid off on TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. But you got to remember, these people used to love Trump. The only reason there is TDS right now, he's a personification of what they hate. Trump is supporting America. That's why they hate him. They wouldn't hate him otherwise. They hate Trump because he has made us strong again. They hate Trump because America is good. These people, all of them with the TDS, they're enemies of America, but they are safe because they are right here. They're running media outlets. They're running our schools. I've talked before. The most powerful anti-American activist in the country, the most powerful woman in the world today, is in charge of our teachers' unions. She is firmly entrenched. Why aren't these enemies within our country taken seriously? If you're a confirmed enemy, the only place you are safe is here among us. You can be in our schools, in our media, on the streets. You can be running a mosque, preaching all that garbage, all the hate America stuff, and you're safe. You have no concerns about being arrested. You have no concerns about being charged. Nobody even calls you an enemy. It's like, oh, that we'll just vote them out. It's like it's just political games. But we kill people overseas for the same thing. Can't we at least lock them up here? Can't we at least throw them out of Congress? Can't we at least remove them? We've got to start treating people like enemies. How many times did these Palestinian supporters take over universities? How many times did they block streets? How much damage did they do? You know the only reason that stopped was because they were going to cut federal funds to universities? That is the only thing that stopped them. The sentiments are still there. All the college professors and other college officials, like the deans and presidents of these colleges that were encouraging all this stuff, supporting it, they're still there. The only reason they quit doing things that were nationally viewed stunts is because it threatened their money. Don't think that they've cleaned up their act. They are still active enemies in important positions. But it's okay because they're already here. We got a funny way of looking at who we consider enemies, don't we? It's one thing, if you can pass yourself off to where you're just a political enemy, like Omar and Tlaib, then you aren't taken seriously as the supporter of terrorism, the dangerous terrorist that you are. You're an activist in support of terrorism. You're a state sponsor of terror in your own right. You're no different than the Ayatollahs. Why is this allowed? How long have they been talking about throwing Omar out? I mean, my gosh, not only has she done that, first of all, we should never let these people swear their oath of office on a Quran that says it's okay to lie to us. What the hell are we thinking? But we've got to start taking this seriously because this business of pretending that Islam is a religion, when we all know that it's a process of social structure, it's a cult of government because everything they're about is taking control of land and controlling law. That's what they do. That's why they're already instituting Sharia law everywhere they're established here and in control or close to it. Up in northern Michigan, they've got the calls to prayer now. New York City now, over 100 mosques have the calls to prayer. That is conquered territory. These people support those terrorists that bring death to Western society. And now that Iran has been destroyed militarily, of course they're not done. I know it's not 100% destroyed, but they're ruined. I mean, their jig is up. Okay, they've been exposed as an impossible failure. So now the only pathway they have left, if they want to continue their fight, is going to be through different outlets of terrorist activities. All of our U.S. politicians that are in support of Iran and against this war right now are in support of the people whose only choice left is terrorism on our streets. I still believe it's going to happen. I'm really surprised we haven't seen terrorist activity yet. Nothing recent due to this war in Iran. I still believe it's going to come. Those people are still out there. They didn't send all those terrorists here for nothing. We're just along for the ride at this point. But keep your head on a swivel because our state sponsors of terror are in our states. They're here. They're among us. A lot of them are being paid very, very well for spewing their poison against our country from within the government, education, entertainment, and news systems in our own country. We got to do better than this. We got to get it right. And if we do, maybe God will continue to bless this great country of ours. Thanks for listening.